Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to Pincore Communal, where we have well-known expertise and scholars ready to guide you. So, welcome back, and here we are with the second part of Raspberry Pi explanation, where we will be only discussing on the installation process. So first, let us see setting up of Raspberry Pi with NOOBS. To get started with Raspberry Pi, you need an operating system, that is NOOBS, New Out-of-Box Software, which is an easy operating system and installs manager for the Raspberry Pi. So here we will discuss on how to install it and pair it with your Raspberry Pi. All you need is a Raspberry Pi and a memory card. We would recommend you to use a SD card with a minimum capacity of 8 GB. The software which is needed can be downloaded from Raspberry Pi website. You can directly go to raspberrypi.org. Then go to the downloads, which you will be able to see on top navigation pane. Here you will see all the softwares listed for installation. Check for NOOBS and download the zipped files where all the required files will be downloaded. Install the OS on SD card. Before going to the installation part, we recommend you to format your SD card. You will find the formatter software available on sdcard.org for free and can be downloaded anytime. After the formatting of SD card, go back to NOOBS folder and drag and drop all the folders onto the SD card. This will take time because the files are large and many. Now you are ready to insert your card into Raspberry Pi. Place the card carefully inside the SD card slot of Raspberry Pi. After the setting up of SD card, here comes the installing Raspberry Pi OS. Now power on your Raspberry Pi, which is connected to your computer, and you will see a pop-up window like this. You should check the box for Raspbian and then click Install. After the installation button is pressed, the software will start to install and you will be able to see this window. This step takes some time. After the installation, click on to OK. Raspbian will then boot up. When the Pi has been booted for the first time, a configuration screen called Setup Options should appear and it will look like the image below. You will be able to see number of boot messages and will take time for the first time as it has to get adjusted to itself. The setup information using tab button can be adjusted, and once this is done, click on to the finish button. Once the setup options is completed, you will see a window which says Welcome to Raspberry Pi Desktop, where a Raspberry Pi logo is also seen. This will appear before the Raspbian desktop and setup wizard appears. Now the OS is ready to be configured. Next is Welcome Wizard Setup. When you start your Raspberry Pi for the first time, the Welcome to Raspberry Pi application will pop up and guide you through the initial setup. Set your country, language and time zone and click on to Next. Enter a new password for your Raspberry Pi and click Next. Connect to your Wi-Fi network by selecting its name and entering the password and click on Next. If your Raspberry Pi model does not have wireless connectivity, then you won't see this screen. Click Next. Let the wizard check for updates to Raspbian and install them. This might take a little while. Click Done or Reboot to finish the setup. So I hope you've understood about Raspberry Pi installation. If you have any queries, drop a mail to info@pincore.in or reach us on 9686963065. To become a volunteer member, try to drop down to the below location. Thank you for watching and stay tuned till next session.